And today we're going to be featuring Tower Hill Botanical Gardens, one of my favorite places to come, actually year-round, and you'll see why pretty soon. So walking up to the entrance, we see the visitor center, the gift shop to the left, to the right the first greenhouse, and to the far right the farmhouse that was at the bottom of the hill that they brought to the top of the hill. So parallel to the visitor center is one of the first of the two greenhouses, and this is of course not an entrance, but this courtyard is relatively new, 2 or 3 years old, and as spring comes it gets completely filled with plants as well as plants you can buy. So as you walk in, the gift shop is to the left, front desk, the courtyard, and then to the immediate right is the very first of the two rather large greenhouses. Pretty amazing. And actually, a lot of these plants end up in the courtyard during the warmer parts of the spring and summer and fall. And as we said, the farmhouse is right across the way. And then back into the lobby, we step out to the courtyard, which right now, I mean, it's nice year round. It actually looks pretty amazing in the winter with the snow. But again, throughout the summer, a lot of the plants that are in the greenhouses live outside here. And one of the kind of fun pieces of this is the water feature. They do weddings here too. I mean, it's a pretty amazing spot to do weddings. And one of the fun things about this is the water feature. So this water feature features two turtles spitting water at each other. The piece in the middle is new. I think that's part of something they're doing right now, a special art in the garden. And as we said, the second greenhouse, which we'll go into in a minute. So back into the lobby, one of the great finds is their cafe, which I'm not going to go into it now, but if you can tell, there's a patio out there with an amazing view, which we will definitely get to in a little bit. So the cafe is called the Farmer and the Fork. They always have amazing specials. Very farm to table, very nature friendly. So back to the cafe for a moment, because just outside is this beautiful patio. And this beautiful patio just outside the cafe has this pretty amazing view. And then also, I'm going to try to avoid the glare as much as possible, but in this hallway they almost always have a display. Sometimes they're art, sometimes they are standalone pieces, flower arrangements, etc. And the reason why I show you this, at the end of this hall, there's a theater, and we're not going to go in, but they have a nice little movie that cycles generally on the hour. And to the second greenhouse, yeah, this pretty much puts year round, especially in the winter, This pretty much puts anyone in a good mood. You can pretty much see why people here year round, but especially in the winter. And that is the cube. So right now a lot of the water features and gardens are not fully in and up, but it's going to happen sooner rather than later, which is why I really wanted to get out here today, especially on a beautiful day like today. And you'll see in a minute or two when we get over to the belvedere why. So this is pretty much the English garden. And one of the nice things about Tower Hill is everything is labeled, and as the plants come in for the season, you will definitely see more and more labels pop up. Especially when everything is in bloom, this place is just great for Instagram photos, family photos. One of my favorite things about this place is just all the spots are really well thought out, whether it's for pictures or just views. I just want to make a Cialis joke, but I won't. So this is a little bit of a hike up, but one of my favorite spots here is their belvedere. And part of the reason is the view. And for those of you who are wondering, this is the belvedere dedication. And it's just a pretty amazing view. And no one should worry, it's very safe. It's just picture perfect. So I didn't show the path on the way up, but the big thing to remember is there's over, I think they say 2 miles of paths, and because it's still spring, a lot of stuff has not sprung, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but I wanted to do the belvedere, and I wanted to show you how far away we were from the main building. And I will time-lapse the rest of this walk. One more look at this shot before we go over to the farmhouse and check that out. So I know a lot of people love to see all of the fun things in gift shops. I'm really not one of those people. But I did think there were some pretty cool things. One of which plants and things to actually do your gardening with. So this house was originally at the bottom of the hill, and now it is right parallel to the visitor center. So this house does have tours, but unfortunately there isn't one going on now. But the story behind it is pretty cool. It was at the bottom of the hill, and in order to save it and restore it, they brought it up. And obviously their view is not too bad either. And they have a beautiful little garden in the back. I mean, this is a pretty awesome backyard setup, I think. And then the big reveal. Obviously this house is a little bit larger than it first appears. And if I can pan around, again, not a bad view. Just to give you an idea of the backyard from the pergolas all the way around to the farmhouse. I'm actually seeing a lot more color than I thought I would be, and maybe one more week everything's going to really start to pop. And even as we're leaving, everything's designed to be a great view.